24th of February was a shock for the Energy Community Secretariat. When we realized that the war started in Ukraine with the Russian aggression, immediately we started thinking how we can be helpful for Ukraine, for the Ukrainian energy system, and for the Ukrainian people.
Of course, it was an incredible challenge for all of us and for our infrastructure. We had to deal with the electricity network, gas transit and supply, nuclear security, hydropower plants protection, and so on, all at the same time.
That's why I'm really grateful that today we have this unique venue which will allow us to mobilize necessary support and assistance in that regard, and I hope that it will be speedy, timely, and relevant to our needs.
Ukraine critical energy infrastructure is suffering significant damages. For many days, around 1,500 towns and villages and millions of people left without electricity, and more than 300,000 without gas. This means no heating, no water, no hot food.
Firstly, the Secretariat established the Ukraine Support Task Force to help Ukraine in keeping the energy infrastructure functional in the current conditions of war. The task force coordinates donations of specialized equipment from energy sector stakeholders from all over the European Union and beyond, following the needs of the Ministry of Energy of Ukraine.
I'm used to work in Ukrainian Association of Renewable Energy, but since the war started, I had to leave the country and I came to Austria, and now I'm happy that I became a part of Energy Community Secretariat team, and we are providing support for the Ukrainian energy sector, supplying important equipment and fuels and everything which is really in need for Ukraine.
On the second day of war, we were forced to flee with the family to Western Ukraine, and then I crossed the border to Slovakia, and basically without any plan. And I'm very lucky to have been able to knock the door of the Energy Community Secretariat and to meet all the old friends who really give you the opportunity not only to work, but indeed to do something for Ukraine and have your own front, if not military, but energy.
This logistics that you are taking care of, that the equipment, the commodity will arrive where it makes sense and where it is needed, is such a hard work, but so necessary. So by doing that, you also help all the companies and member states and even our partners who are not in EU, who are willing to help Ukraine. And I would like to sincerely thank Energy Community, who is working hand in hand with the European Commission to help the Ukraine.
The Energy Community Secretariat has set up the legal framework for the Ukraine Energy Support Fund to counteract the impact of the Russian invasion. The fund will enable governments and international financial institutions to provide emergency financial support to the Ukrainian sector.
Thank you, Director Lokovsky, for your shout out to Denmark in your introductory remarks. We last week made the first donation of 4 million Danish crown to the fund.
And we really do appreciate commitment conducted by Energy Community Secretariat and first donor Denmark.
But now this is the time for others to contribute as well. This is the time for the governments to reflect on the possibility to contribute to the fund, and this is also a call for the European energy companies considering whether they can support Ukraine in kind with the critical equipment needed for this system for Ukraine to run the operations.
Even if the wars will be stopped, there will be a need to rebuild Ukraine. And what I would like to say that this organization has in its own DNA, the support for the countries which suffered a lot after the Yugoslavian wars. And I think that this experience of the Energy Community Secretariat, of being helpful for the region of Balkans after the wars in the 90s, should be used and could be used also when we were speaking about the way how to build the new energy system, which is fully in line with the Green Deal, with the challenges of the future, not the limitations of the past. And this is something which we will be working very hard on.
These are extraordinary times. Ukrainians are fighting heroically for their freedom, and the rest of us, we have to do our utmost so that Ukraine can prevail.
Yet the biggest test is still to come. At some point this war will be over, and we have to support Ukraine in building back better, in creating a greener, a more transparent, a more modern energy sector which can be integrated with the European Unions. And as much as we are supporting Ukraine now in this horrific situation, we will support them on their way to Europe.